We're gonna, oh my goodness. So again, if anything happens here, just gonna make sure I did this right. Just message the chat. I have the laptop beside me as well, so I will see it. Again, this is just fun. It's stress relieving. Don't take yourself too seriously. It's just a way to kind of get together virtually, relieve some stress that everybody has. And it, as I said before, it turned out to be the perfect day for it, with it being a little gloomy. So let's just have some fun. We'll flow, we'll move. We'll only be together about 40 to 45 minutes. So just enjoy. So we are going to start together in seated, however that looks like for you. Again, you can use props or pillows or whatever you have available to you. Again, if you want to lay back or sit back on a couch, with a wall behind you, whatever feels most comfortable. We're just going to be here for a few minutes. And I want you to focus on kind of a meditative practice. So that's what we're going to do as well. And again, just have fun. Maybe find a few laughs along the way. You can laugh at me all you like. You can have your camera off as well or on, whatever is most comfortable for you. I have muted everyone. So again, we're going to start in seated lotus pose, however that looks for you. And we're going to grab our beverage of choice. So grab your glass. We're going to hold it in both hands. And we're going to bring it to heart center. Spine is nice and tall here. Eyes can be closed, or we can soften our gaze. Maybe we roll our shoulders back and down a couple of times, release just any bit of tension we have here. Beautiful. And we're going to start with just a nice cleansing breath. Inhaling through the nose, filling up your belly, your ribs, and your chest. And exhale, sigh it all out, let it go. And just starting to tune into your breath for a moment. Checking in on how it feels this evening. Maybe on your inhalations, you can smell the aromas. What does it smell like? Maybe you smell something fruity and sweet. Or maybe you're smelling something else in your glass. Noticing now the sensations of the glass in your hand. How does it feel? Maybe it's warm, or maybe it's cold. Maybe there's some condensation already on your glass and you can feel that. And if it serves you, I invite you to take a sip of whatever beverage you've chosen to flow with this evening. What does it taste like? Maybe you can feel it warm your heart center. And bringing ourselves to our mind now and focusing on a memory that your beverage gives you. Maybe your beverage reminds you of the beach, of waves, or maybe the forest, or maybe a beautiful spot with someone you love. And holding that moment of peace and tranquility inside your heart center for just a few moments here. And just focusing on that. Feeling that sense of calm and stillness fill your body. And just stay with your breath for a few more moments. Maybe before we start to wake up here, we welcome ourselves back in with a breath. Once again, noticing the aroma. You can smell. What do you feel? And what do you taste? Our eyes are closed. We can slowly back them open, letting in the light. Beautiful. If it serves you, I invite you to take another sip of your beverage. And I encourage you at any time during this flow. Beautiful. We're going to start with a couple sun breaths here. Again, holding our glass kind of level in the right or the left hand, whichever feels better for you. Knowing that you can also place your glass on the ground at any time. We're going to inhale our arms up slowly to the sky. Maybe we grab our glass with both hands looking up and exhale, bringing our hands back down to heart center. Beautiful. Inhaling up once more. And exhaling down through heart center. Beautiful. We're going to reach our glass out in front of us, almost like we're passing it to a friend in front of us, pulling our shoulder blades away from our body. Maybe we bring our chin to our chest, rounding in a seated cat here. Exhale, pulling our glass in towards our chest, heart shining forward, squeezing our shoulder blades together. Seated cow. Beautiful. Exhale, pushing forward, rounding in. And inhaling, pulling back. Beautiful. 2 more times here, nice and slow at your own perfect pace. Beautiful. Last time through here. Beautiful. Coming back to center, we're going to place our glass up at the top of our mat, maybe about 6 inches up on the top, just so we have lots of room. And we're going to make our way into our tabletop pose here. And again, I should have introduced myself. For those I haven't met yet, my name is Laura, and I will be your guide this evening. Please listen to your body and just have fun. Remember that I am only a guide and this is your journey. Beautiful. Fingertips spread nice and wide, really rooting into our thumb, index, and pinky finger. Really pressing in the tips of our fingers into the mat here. Wrists underneath shoulders, knees underneath our spine, or knees underneath our hips. Spine is nice and tall. Inhaling here to our back body. And as we exhale, tailbone, this heart lowers, heart shining forward, finding our cow. Exhale, rounding into cat. Beautiful, moving nice and slow. Inhaling down to cow. Exhale, rounding in chin to chest, finding our cat pose. Beautiful. 2 more times through here. Rounding in. And last time through. Rounding in. Beautiful. Finding neutral tabletop here. Knees to the edge of the mat. Big toes touch, sitting back on our heels. Walking our hands forward. Really melting our chest and our forehead down. Finding our child's pose just for a few breaths. Breathing into the back body here. Softening our hips to the ground. Beautiful. And our next breath, pressing into our palms, making our way up into our tabletop pose. We're going to inhale our left leg to the back of the mat. Toes can stay tucked, or maybe we lift that leg off the mat. We're going to reach our right hand forward. Maybe we grab our glass. Maybe we don't. Whatever feels good for you. Spinal balance here. Again, our toes can stay on the mat if that's easier for you. And on our next exhale, we're going to round and bring that knee towards our elbow, drink towards our face. Beautiful. Exhale, reaching up. Inhaling, elbow to knee. Exhaling back out. One more time. Beautiful. Exhaling, holding that for a breath. We're going to lower our drink back down, right hand underneath our shoulder, left knee meets right. Beautiful. Tabletop. Maybe we rock our hips side to side. And then finding that on the other side, inhaling our right leg to the back of the mat. Maybe we lift it off the mat, left arm extending. We can grab our glass if we like. And then as we exhale, rounding in knee to elbow, reaching back. Beautiful, rounding in and reaching up. One more time, really rounding in here. Exhale, reaching out long. Lowering that drink to the ground, left hand underneath our shoulder, right knee meets left. Again, maybe we rock our hips side to side. Beautiful. We're going to walk our hands a couple inches forward, really rooting into the thumb, index, and pinky, tucking our toes, lifting our hips up and back, finding our first downward facing dog. Knowing that you can also find child's pose or stay in tabletop here. Settling in, you can pedal this out, lifting one heel and then the other, taking your dog for a little bit of a walk this evening. Beautiful. And then holding this downward dog for a couple of breaths. We're going to bend our knees, walk our feet to the top of the mat, finding that forward fold. Really letting go here. Torso really rooted on the upper thighs, knees nice and bent here. Taking some nice big inhales and exhales, releasing any stress you're holding on to. Beautiful. We're going to inhale, find our halfway lift, flat back. Hands on shins or thighs. Exhale, fold. Beautiful. We're going to grab our glass if that's available, rooting down for our feet, rising up nice and slow, inhaling all the way up to the sky. Again, maybe holding onto our glass with both hands. Maybe we look up. And then exhaling down through heart center. Beautiful. Again, maybe we take a nice smell, noticing the aromas. Maybe we take a sip here in our mountain pose. Beautiful. Finding a few standing sun breaths here. We're going to inhale nice and slow. Again, holding onto the glass nice and comfortably here. Inhaling up really slowly. And exhale, pulling down through heart center. One more time. Inhaling up nice and slow. And exhaling down through heart center. Beautiful. I once again remind you, you can take a sip at any time. Maybe it's just nice to smell. Maybe it's nice just to hold it between our hands. Maybe we close our eyes here just for a breath or two in our mountain pose. Focusing on that warm, beautiful memory for just a moment. Again, if our eyes are closed, we're going to slowly back them open. We're going to inhale our arms out to the sky nice and slow. Wrapping our glass in our right hand. And we're going to twist gently open to the left, arms forward and back. Beautiful. Inhaling our arms up to the sky, finding center, grabbing the glass in our left hand this time, nice and carefully. Exhaling, open to the right. Beautiful. Inhaling back to center one more time on each side, grabbing the glass with the right hand, opening up. Inhaling back to center. And exhaling, opening to the right. Beautiful. Inhaling back to center, exhaling our hands down through heart center. Again, maybe we roll our shoulders back and down. Maybe we take another sip. Maybe we just smell the beautiful smell. Beautiful. We're going to inhale our arms up to the sky. And as we exhale, we're going to pull them down through heart center as we lower into an imaginary chair here. Again, smelling those beautiful aromas. Holding for a couple of breaths, creating some heat in our legs. And as we exhale, we're going to slowly fold over our legs, placing a glass on the ground in front of us. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, planting our hands left foot to the back of the mat, lowering that left knee. You can untuck your toes, rising up, low lunge. Exhale, folding forward, planting our hands, right knee meets left, finding a child's pose for a breath. Inhaling forward to our kneeling plank, shoulders over our wrists. Exhale, lowering all the way down to our bellies here, rooting into the tops of our feet and our pubic bone, squeezing our shoulder blades together, inhaling out, baby cobra. Exhale, lower. Pressing up and back, finding a child's pose. Inhaling forward to our tabletop, fingertips spread nice and wide, tucking our toes, lifting our hips up and back, downward facing dog. Bending our knees, walking our feet to the top of the mat, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, grabbing our glass if that's available, rooting down for our feet, bending our knees nice and big, reaching up to the sky. And exhaling down through heart center. Pausing for a moment here. Beautiful. Inhaling our arms up to the sky. Maybe we lift up. And as we exhale, hands to heart center, lowering into that imaginary chair. Holding for a breath, maybe taking a sip. And as we exhale, slowly folding forward, letting our glass come to the ground. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, planting our hands right foot to the back of the mat, lowering that knee, rising up. Exhale, folding forward, planting our hands, left knee meets right, child's pose. Inhaling forward like a wave for our kneeling plank, shoulders over it. Exhale, lowering all the way down. Rooting in, finding our cobra or baby cobra. Exhale, lower. Pressing up and back. Finding our child's pose. Inhaling forward to our tabletop, fingertips spread nice and wide, tucking our toes, lifting our hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Bending our knees, walking our feet to the top of the mat. Forward fold. Halfway lift. Exhale, fold, really bending our knees, grabbing our glass, inhaling, rising up nice and slow, all the way up to the sky. And exhaling down through heart center. Again, pausing for a breath. Rolling our shoulders back and down if that feels good. Noticing the peace and tranquility. Beautiful. We're going to inhale our arms up to the sky. Exhaling our hands down through heart center, lowering into that imaginary chair. Again, you can take a sip at any time should it serve you. Exhale, folding forward, planting our glass just for a moment. Planting our hands on the mat here, reaching our left foot to the back of the mat, high on the ball mound of that left foot. Grabbing our glass, slowly rising up to our crescent lunge here. Hands can stay at heart center, or we can reach them up to the sky. Whatever feels more comfortable for you. Again, maybe it's a little more comforting holding that glass with both hands. Noticing the sensations. How does the glass feel? Again, is it warm or cold? Maybe the condensation is dripping if it's really cold now. Beautiful. If our hands are lifted, we're going to bring them to heart center. We're going to pivot that left foot on a 90-degree angle, opening up into our warrior two hand, glass in our right hand if that's available. Arms forward and back. Beautiful warrior two, lunging into that front leg. Maybe we pause for a moment here. Maybe we look at our glass. What colors do you see? Maybe your glass is see-through, or maybe there's some beautiful colors in it. Noticing the color of the liquid inside of it. Beautiful. We're going to gently exalt our warrior here. So left hand by our left thigh, reaching this right arm to the sky. Maybe we just lateral reach today. Beautiful. Exhaling back. Warrior two. Straightening this right leg, bringing our hands to heart center, pivoting our toes so they're pointing the corners of the mat, finding our goddess pose, both hands on our glass. We're going to inhale our arms up to the sky and exhaling them down through heart center as we lower our hips into our goddess squat here for a breath or two. Again, maybe we close our eyes or soften our gaze, trusting that our bodies know where it needs to be right now. Maybe with our eyes closed, we notice that we can feel the sensations, the smells a little bit more. Again, if it serves you, I invite you to take a nice sip, just slowly, noticing the taste. One more breath here. Again, we can slowly bat our eyes open. We're going to inhale, reaching our legs straight, arms up to the sky. And exhale, down through heart center. We're going to turn this right foot to the top of the mat, pivoting the left toes. So we're finding our crescent lunge just for a breath here. We're going to exhale, fold forward, planting our glass. Planting our fingers on the mat, bending the left knee, left foot meets right. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, rooting down through our feet, bending our knees, grabbing our glass if that's available, rising up nice and slow, reaching up to the sky. Exhale, pulling our hands down through heart center, lowering into that imaginary chair. Again, noticing what you feel, what do you smell, and what do you taste. On our exhale, folding forward nice and gently here, planting our glass for a moment, planting our fingers on either sides of our legs, reaching the right foot back high in the ball end of that foot, grabbing our glass, rising up, crescent lunge. Again, you can reach your arms up to the sky. You can stay at heart center, whatever feels good for you. Be settling in here. Holding this just for a couple more breaths. Left knee is over our ankle. If our arms are lifted, we're going to bring them to heart center. We're going to pivot this right foot, finding warrior two on this side. Glass in our left hand, reaching our arms forward and back. Once again, looking ahead. Maybe if your cup is see-through, you can notice the liquid. Is it moving or is it still? Beautiful. Right hand by our right thigh, just lifting this left arm up to the sky. A nice lateral reach instead of a reach back today. Exhaling back. Warrior two. We're going to gently straighten that left leg. Bring our hands to heart center, pivoting this right foot. Finding crescent lunge for a breath. Folding forward, planting our glutes on the mat. Fingertips on the mat, bending our right knee, right foot meets left, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, really resting here for a moment, releasing any tension that's left inside you, letting it roll up your shoulders and onto the mat. Beautiful, finding that halfway lift once more. Exhale, fold, bending our knees, grabbing our glass, inhaling nice and slow up to the sky. And exhaling down through heart center. Beautiful. We're going to root into our right leg as we lift our left knee towards our chest. And then hinging at our hips, reaching that left foot back, finding crescent lunge once again for just a breath. Opening up to warrior two one more time, arms forward and back. We're going to bend our right elbow, placing it on the top of our right thigh. Glass is in our right hand if that's available. Right arm reaches up, or maybe we reach it forward, bicep by our ear, palm facing down. And then as we exhale, we're going to rise up, warrior two. Beautiful, flowing forward, finding that supported side angle. Rising. One more time here. Rising up. Beautiful. Bringing our hands to heart center. We're going to pivot this right foot, finding crescent lunge for a breath. Rooting into the right foot. We're going to lift off, letting our left toes gentle on the mat here. Cupping both of our hands again. Maybe we smell it. Maybe we taste it. A little wobbly here. And if it feels good, you can stay here in your warrior three. We'd like to add on a little bit more, hinging at our hips, tilting forward just gently here, flexing those left toes towards our face. And then exhale, rising all the way up, standing. You can shake your legs out. Maybe you grab another sip. Maybe you take a sip of water by now, who knows? Beautiful, finding that on the other side, rooting into our left foot, right knee towards our chest, hinging at our hips as we reach that right foot all the way to the back of the mat, high on the ball mound. Crescent lunge. Opening up, pivoting the right foot, finding warrior two, glasses in our left hand, moving really slowly here. Bending that left arm, placing it on the top of our thigh, reaching this right arm ahead, or maybe forward, palm down, bicep by our ear. Rising up, warrior two. Nice and slow, two more times. Be focusing on your glass here, maybe noticing the liquid move. Last time. Beautiful. Rising up. Bringing our hands to heart center, pivoting that right foot, finding crescent lunge again. Rooting into the left foot as we rise up. Right toes gentle on the mat, crown of the head reaching high, spine nice and tall. Again, glass in both hands. And maybe this feels good and you can stay here. If you'd like, we're going to hinge forward, flexing those right toes towards our face. Warrior three. Inhale, rising back up to standing. Again, we can shake that out. Beautiful. Finding our mountain pose here. We're just going to find a fun tree pose with our wine glass or whatever we have in our hand. And then we're going to stretch it out. Beautiful. So hands starting at heart center. Once again, finding our mountain pose just for a moment or two. Again, you can soften your gaze, closing our eyes. Maybe rolling our shoulders back and down feels really good. Really releasing the stress and tension from our neck and our shoulders. Releasing our day. And noticing what you smell. What do you feel? What do you taste? Opening our eyes slowly here. We're going to root into our left foot, pointing the right toes out. Flexing those right toes, externally rotating our foot and bringing the inside of the right foot onto the inside of the left leg. Toes can be on the mat. They can be above or below the knee or wherever it lands today. Hands can stay at heart center. Or maybe we grow our branches a little bit here. Maybe we notice that our tree is a little more wobbly or windy in the forest this evening, and that's okay. Just having some fun. Ooh. One more breath. And then as we exhale, bringing our hands to heart center if they were lifted, closing that up. And again, we can shake that out. Maybe we pedal our legs, whatever feels good in this moment. Beautiful, finding our mountain again. Settling in, wiggling any tension out. We're going to root into our right foot, pointing the left toes out, flexing those left toes, externally rotating and bringing the inside of that left foot onto the inside of the right leg, wherever is comfortable for you. Again, hands can stay at heart center. We can grow our branches. Ooh, my tree is wobbly. And I haven't been drinking that much yet. Beautiful, hands down through heart center, closing that up and shaking that out. And finding mountain pose at the top of our mat here. We're going to inhale our arms up to the sky, reaching up. Maybe we look up. And exhaling down to heart center. Again, maybe we take a sip, or maybe we just keep moving. We're going to inhale our arms up to the sky nice and slow. Maybe we open them up this time, or maybe we just reach them up to the sky. Exhaling our hands down to heart center as we hinge at our hips, folding all the way down, letting our glass come to the ground. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, fold, planting our hands, stepping back into our tabletop, and making our way into seated here. We're going to find our butterfly here. So soles of the feet to touch, knees out to either sides of the mat. Again, this is a very personal pose for people. You can pull your legs in or leave them out forward here. We're going to inhale, create some length in our spine. And as we exhale, hinging at our hips. Maybe we keep our spine straight to start, or maybe we round in forehead towards our feet. Really tuning into what your body needs. Maybe noticing with a few sips of wine that you're a little more flexible this evening. Holding this. Starting to tune back into our breath. Feeling the back of the body rise and fall. Maybe you can breathe all the way down to your low belly and your low back. Filling your body with beautiful fresh oxygen. Beautiful. We're going to inhale back up to seated. We're gonna close our legs up like a book and we're gonna reach them forward. Now in this twist, you can either move with your glass or not. It's completely up to you. I'm just gonna face you for instruction. We're gonna bend our right knee, placing our right foot on the mat. Or we can cross that right foot over the left leg, just making sure both sits bones are rooted here. We are gonna grab our glass. We're gonna hold it in our left hand. We're gonna inhale our arms up to the sky, nice and slow. And as we exhale, twisting open to the right hand behind us, fingertips cupped. Maybe we hook that left elbow outside of the left knee. Maybe you take a nice sip of your beverage. Twisting open to the right, spine is still nice and tall. Holding for a few more breaths here. Beautiful. We're going to inhale back to center, releasing our glass to either side of the mat. If we have it in our hands, we're going to plant our hands behind us, uncross our legs, reach our legs out. You can pat them out, shake that out if you need to. And then finding that on the other side, bending the left knee, planting the left foot, bringing that left foot across the right. Beautiful. For grabbing our glass in the right hand this time, spine nice and tall. Inhale, create length, reaching up. Exhale, twisting to the left fingertips cupped. Maybe we hook the right elbow outside that left knee. Again, maybe we take another step. Beautiful. Inhaling back to center. Placing that right or the glass away from the mat. We have lots of room, hands behind us, the left leg extends. Again, we can shake that out. Beautiful. We're going to make our way to the middle of the mat, making sure that our glass is out of the way for a few moments. And then we're going to roll onto our backs nice and slow here, hugging one knee in and then the other knees to chest. Maybe we rock side to side, or maybe stillness feels really good in this moment. Beautiful. Finding center, letting our feet dangle, hands on our knees, and we're going to draw circles in the ceiling in whichever direction you'd like to start. Moving really slow here with your breath, noticing all four corners of your sacrum, that bone at the base of your spine. And then changing the direction if that feels okay. Beautiful. Coming back to center, hugging our knees in one more time. Maybe we curl up like a little ball, bringing our forehead towards our knees, creating a little bit of tension. And then as we exhale, releasing into your variation of final resting pose, Shavasana. And as we make our way into Shavasana here, I invite you to take a nice cleansing breath in through the nose, filling up your belly, your ribs, and your chest. And exhale, sigh it all out, really releasing everything, letting it go. And just tuning in here. Maybe taking a few moments to thank your body for all the beautiful things it has done for you and for the way it moves with or without wine. Focusing on your feet, your legs, and your hips. And thank them for where they have taken you in this life and for where you will end up next. Tuning into your arms and your shoulders and your hands. thinking of what you've carried with them, what you've given, and what you've created. Focusing on your back now, thanking it for how it has supported you and how you can support others. Tuning into your mind for the memories it holds and the room for more memories to treasure in the future. And lastly, your heart for the infinite capacity to love, the love for others, and the love for yourself. And just finding a few moments of stillness here, perhaps recalling that memory from the beginning of practice, finding your peace and your solitude, and trusting that I will hold this virtual space for you until the time is right to bring you back. If your mind has started to wander, pulling it back to this moment with a breath. And if your body feels like it's ready for movement, I invite you to start with some small, gentle ones. Maybe wiggling our fingers and our toes. You can expand those movements when your body is ready. You can roll out your wrists and your ankles, but also remembering you can remain in that pose for as long as you need. And in your next few breaths, I invite you to find any movement you need to bring yourself back to waking consciousness. Maybe you find a nice big reach stretch, maybe a big hug, maybe knees to chest again. Whatever feels right for you in this moment. And in your next few breaths, I invite you to bend your knees, facing your feet on the mat, reaching your right or your left arm over your head and rolling over onto your right or your left side body, using your bicep as a pillow, pausing for a beautiful cleansing breath. Then pressing through your palm and making your way up into seated lotus pose. Beautiful. If it's available and accessible, we're going to grab our drink in one hand or the other. We're going to inhale our arms up to the sky, nice and slow, really gathering in all the beautiful energy that surrounds you. And exhaling our hands down through heart center as we bow in once again. Maybe we smell, maybe we take a sip. Thank you so much for joining me this evening. I hope that you relieved a little bit of stress and had a little bit of fun in our virtual world. The love and the light in me truly sees and honors the love and the light in each of you. Namaste. Thank you so much, ladies. I hope you had fun.
Thanks, Laura. Thanks, Laura. That was great.
No problem.
Have a
Now
great
you know how to flow with wine. You can do it all the time.